Hey guys, how are we? Well, a glorious day here today in Athens, which is great. First time in a week or two, so it's actually nice to have some good weather for a change. About 14 degrees, still a little bit nippy, but not completely unbearable. So things are really starting to change in regards to this conflict in Russia, Ukraine, and it's not getting any better. I think it's only starting to deteriorate a bit more. A lot of people were sort of saying, "Oh, where are you looking at relocating to?" And I've just uploaded a video actually saying we're looking at the Canary Islands. Maybe for a short term, just to sort of, we're just waiting to see if Australia removes its travel restrictions in the next couple of months, and also looking at the situation in regards to Russia and Ukraine. There is a significant chance that it's going to turn into a all-out war, and I know the Western media is really talking up that Russia is struggling, but when you dig beneath the surface and do a little research, it doesn't appear that way at all. And the problem that I sort of see is that if the broader sort of Eurozone and NATO is drawn into this conflict, then it's going to be a real all-out war. It's going to be a real problem. And as I've said in previous videos, I think World War III has already begun. The only concern I have with that is that if they use the nuclear option, there's going to be a lot of casualties, and your economic situation is going to just deteriorate so rapidly. So, yeah, look, there's a lot of worries that we've got at the moment. I did see this morning that Estonia, which is really right up the north west of Russia, bordering Russia, is calling for NATO to declare Ukraine a no-fly zone. And NATO's been hesitant to declare that, because if that is declared, it's going to be World War III. That is a declaration of war, because Russia will not discontinue that. And I did see that Russian TV were actually using maps that were indicating that Russia would do incursions into neighbouring countries. So it's look, there's all the hallmarks there of something broader happening. And look, I think the Canary Islands is good for us in that it's not that far away. The weather is actually beautiful. The climate is not too dissimilar to sort of spring weather all year round. And it's part of the EU, so a few benefits to that. So we can certainly go there for a couple of months anyway. The only thing we're waiting for is the completion of this property sale, which should be imminent, I'd say in the next week anyway, and then we'll be, certainly looking at getting out. The other option we've got is Kuala Lumpur and Thailand, but as I said, the things that was sort of holding us back there is just the entry requirements regarding COVID. So we may just hold back from there. The other option there is Bali, but as I said, it's the same situation. I think they're even a little bit more strict. So there are indications that come the 1st of April, a lot of those requirements are going to be removed. But if we can certainly stay out of Australia while they have their travel restrictions, then we'll do that. This is just more difficulty returning to Australia before that sort of stuff is settled. So there's a lot to sort of take into account there. Latin America appears to be remaining fairly neutral in regards to all this, which is great to see. And I don't think anybody really wants a broader conflict. So, but that's where it's going. And, you know, as I've said to you in the past, when all else fails, they take you to war. And I think the global economy is faltering and collapsing at the moment. So I did see an interview with one Indian general who basically said, here's some summary of the whole situation. Was the big issue here was the economy and not so much even the war. It's the economic situation here in Europe and around the world will absolutely deteriorate overnight if a conflict breaks out between NATO and Russia. So anyway, let's hope for the best. But certainly, if you haven't already made plans to relocate, then I strongly suggest you do that as soon as possible, because Europe and the EU could get drawn into a very nasty, bitter battle, and weapons could be used in this that are absolutely destructive. So if you haven't made plans to leave, I recommend you do that sooner rather than later. I did hear from Eduardo this morning. I ran into Eduardo, who watches the channel, that there's a few people leaving Poland even at the moment. So, and for those of you that don't know, Poland is right on the border with Ukraine. So I think there's a lot of people sensing that there's a broader conflict coming. So, as I said, if you haven't thought about leaving, think about leaving now. Get your passport in order. The other thing you might want to do is get some potassium iodine tablets, just in case there is a bit of nuclear conflict. You'll definitely need those. As I said, plan for the absolute worst and hope for the best. But I think we're heading for something a bit nasty. But look, certainly lots of good places around the world to visit and spend a little bit of time. And if something resonates with you, then move there. So look, the world's your oyster. So during these sort of times, it's one thing to be really distraught and upset about it. Another thing to look at it from a perspective as, hey, look, there's a great opportunity here for me to reinvent myself and reimagine my life. And always good opportunities in these sort of times of difficulty. So try and stay positive and look for the silver lining in this, and use this to your advantage and go from strength to strength. Alright guys, going to leave that there. And if you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, do that. And go to Overseas Exiles Facebook group, and you can sign up there and join the discussion. I'm going to post a lot more content on there in the near future, so stay tuned for that. So alright guys, thanks for watching.